I call the member for Perth.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, in Adelaide, the Prime Minister said the build of our new future fleet, including the offshore patrol vessels, would be centred on South Australia. In Melbourne, the Prime Minister said that the construction of the vessels would most likely start in South Australia but then could move to Victoria. Is the Prime Minister aware that the current patrol boats were built in Western Australia? And what is the Prime Minister's position on where Australia's new offshore patrol vessels should be built?
The member's time's expired. I call the Prime Minister. I call the Prime Minister. Leader of the House will stop interjecting.
Well, I do thank the Leader of the House for reminding me that, in fact, members opposite did not place a single naval order with an Australian shipyard. Not a single order with a naval shipyard. Now, Mr. Speaker, look, if they don't want the answer, if you don't want the answer, I won't give one. If you want an answer, sit down. Come on.
The member for Jelly. I ask the Prime Minister to resume his seat. Order. Members will cease interjecting, including the member for Herbert. The member for Herbert will cease interjecting. And it will help if those on my left ceased interjecting. The member for Jellybrand.
A point of order is on direct relevance, Mr Speaker. The Prime Minister is talking about the previous government. 800 shipbuilders have lost their jobs in my electorate.
The member for Jellybrand will resume his seat. The member for Jellybrand will resume his seat. That's an abuse of a point of order. I'm going to call the Prime Minister.
Now, Mr Speaker, in response to the member who asked the question, the new offshore patrol vessels, or corvettes, will be a substantially different and larger vessel to the existing patrol boats. And she's right, the existing patrol boats, the Armidale class, were built by Austal in Perth. They're an excellent vessel. They're an excellent vessel. The Cape class, which is the new class of customs vessels, are being built in Perth. Again, they're an excellent vessel. So I can say to the member for Perth, Austal do a great job. They do a fantastic job. They do a really good job.
The member for Perth will cease interjecting. The member for Perth will cease interjecting.
Such a good job that Austal have now been commissioned by the United States Navy to build warships for the US.
Prime Minister, resume his seat. The member for Perth has asked a question. The Prime Minister is answering the question. You're interjecting continually. I'm asking the member for Perth to cease interjecting. I'll call the Prime Minister.
And I'm praising Austal. I'm praising Austal. They are doing a fabulous job.
No, the member for Perth will cease interjecting. The Prime Minister. The Prime Minister.
I am trying to do justice to a great company in the member for Perth's electorate, or near the member for Perth's electorate, Austal. They're doing a fabulous job. Doing a fabulous job. And they will have every opportunity to be involved in future naval construction in Australia. But when it comes to future naval construction, the frigate build will
The Prime Minister will resume his seat.
Prime
Minister resume his seat. The member for Fremantle. The Prime Minister will resume his seat. The Prime Minister will resume his seat. The member for Fremantle, a point of order has already been raised, and it was an abuse each time. I'm asking you to resume your seat. I have ruled on the matter. The Prime Minister. The member. Well, I've asked the member. The member for Griffith will resume her seat. The member for Fremantle. Was your point of order on relevance?
No.
I'll hear the member for Fremantle.
Mr Speaker, my point of order was that the Prime Minister keeps referring to the ships being built in Perth.
That is not a point. That is not a point of order. The member for Fremantle will resume her seat. I call the Prime Minister. Members on my left will cease interjecting. The Prime Minister.
The offshore patrol vessels will be at least twice the size of the vessels currently being built by Austal, but Austal certainly are welcome to be involved and to bid as part of the competitive evaluation process that will begin from October. But what I said and what I stand by is that the offshore patrol vessel build will start in 2018. The frigate build will start in 2020. The frigates will be built in Adelaide. The offshore patrol vessel build, I expect, to start in Adelaide after 2020. When the frigates are built, it may move.
I call